Well, here we are today. It's the 26th of February 2019 and we're at Gunning Free Camp, 312 kilometres from Yamina Beach. And this beautiful little spot is a free camp. So you can stay here for 2 nights, as the sign says. A few vans in here, what, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7 vans. And of course, being near the amenities and having a disabled toilet, a disabled sticker, enables me to park there. Because I've got a disabled ticket. So there we are, set up under the trees. It's 2:30, I've just filled up with petrol. $76 from Yamina to here, pretty good value. And look where we are. Hey? Come on, look at this. Free. Doesn't cost a cent. Mum's in there just doing a few tidy ups and I'm about to have a beer. Look at this, I ask you. How beautiful is this? You'd pay a fortune to get a spot this nice. Look at it. There's the weir there. Ducks, birdies. Beautiful park. Barbecues up the end there. We won't need them. We got a cold chicken salad. And I'm sitting down now on those beautiful chairs, have a bloody nice cold well-earned beer. Bye. I've just come from my little after dinner's drink and holy bloody hell, I'm the Pied Piper of bloody Gunning. Hello birdies! Birdie num 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 birdie! Birdie num num! I'm the Pied Piper of the bloody Red Bills. They think that is food. Well, you're wrong. Well, here we go, and this is the start of the Snowy Mountains. We're at a place called Dana's Gap, 1,650 metres above sea level. And this is actually the Snowy Mountains we're in now. And today we're heading to Perisher, Charlotte Pass and Smiggins Smiggins Holes. So let's look around here. I love to come to the Snowy. I've never been here all my life. And no snow, thank goodness. Very windy up here, folks, so there's going to be a little bit noisy. We're at Charlotte Pass, and Charlotte Pass is the highest point on the Snowy. And right behind us is the highest mountain in Australia, Mount Kosciuszko, with no snow. So there you go, Mount Kosciuszko. That's the one straight up there in front of that sign. I'm not quite sure what it is in height, but it's Australia's highest mountain. And then to the right of that is Mount Clark, then Mount Lee and Mount Carruthers. So there you go. Windy, but it's a beautiful 22 degrees, probably 20 up here. Lots of different birds. The wildlife here is incredible. See, there's a bird there. She looks like she's been around for a while too, just quietly, doesn't she? What? What was that again? She said tweet, tweet. This is still Charlotte Pass. And this is up the top overlooking all the mountains, Mount Kosciuszko straight in front. Beautiful down there, look.
It's Clark Mountain.
not so windy here. We've just come down from Charlotte's Pass. We've got Smiggins and Perisher Valley to go yet. But my tummy's rumbling and it's lunchtime. Lunchtime. Picnic on the table in the snowy. Okay, this plague here is in memory of the men who lost their lives on the Snowy Mountain scheme during construction. And this is your water down there on the Snowy. Unfortunately, we have got trees there. Lots of choppers here. The choppers are always flying around. They've got a chopper helipad out there. But yeah, gorgeous view, isn't it? Right around and right over. This is the big tank station here, and that's where you get the best view. It's lovely. Okay, this is just a little bit of the medical. They only had like a medical first aid station for people that were injured. And a lot of people had breaks and fractures and things like that in those days, mainly fractures. The old portable radio, Pepsi bottles, piano accordion, which would have been a lot of fun in those days, an old chip heater. You used to get the water boiling in that, and that's what you bathed in. They had English classes, so they could teach the Italians and all the migrants that came here to work on the scheme. They'd teach them English, so they knew how to speak the one language, understand what was happening. So we're going to go through this museum now, and I can't take you with us all the way, it'd be just too much. So we've just looked at a video, and we'll catch up with you when you move along to something else. Where are we, dear?
We're in the Snowy Mountains Hydro
Discovery Centre in Cooma. And here we go.
These lights that you can see, the little green lights, are the power stations.
Yeah, they're not on. They're not on.
Well, they were there. Can you see them?
Oh,
there
not really.
Three.
Yep. Okay.
Now, these ones, the little orange lights.
Yep.
They are the dams.
Yeah.
There are 16 major dams.
16 major dams, yep. Holding a total of 13 times that of Sydney Harbour in water storage.
These are the reservoirs.
Yep.
Now these are the tunnels.
Oh wow, look at the tunnels. I didn't think there was so many dams and so many reservoirs and so many tunnels. It's
145 kilometres of tunnels.
Yep.
The longest tunnel is the Lake Yukonbean Tunnel.
Yes, and also Lake Yukonbean.
23.5 kilometres in length.
And that one just there, Lake Yukonbean, right in front of you, is the biggest storage facility of the lot of them. So there you go.
Most essential element. Simple in form, yet powerful enough to bring life to millions of species. And at exactly the right temperature, it transforms into a snowflake. Frozen in time on an immeasurable scale, These tiny, delicate crystals play a crucial role in keeping our world alive. Throughout the world and through all of history, man has conceived and constructed visionary schemes and 7 power stations. The scheme stores water in lakes and reservoirs capable of holding almost 13 times the volume of Sydney Harbour. The water is then channeled westward for irrigation and along the way generates clean, renewable electricity. The Snowy Mountains scheme is considered one of the civil engineering wonders of the modern world. As part of Australia's Great Dividing Range, the Snowy Mountains provide an ideal location for a hydroelectric scheme. Rising to over 2,000 metres, they form a natural barrier to capture rain and snow. The snow falls on the mountains, forming a thick blanket, and will remain that way until the warm rays of the sun melt it in springtime. It's this snowmelt, combined with the rainfall, that unleashes billions of litres of water. This water flows into streams and rivers before travelling onto the ocean and evaporating into clouds, starting the whole process all over again. This natural cycle of water led to the vision of the Snowy Mountains scheme. It was a plan massive in scale, but brilliant in its simplicity. But the challenge was how to make this visionary idea a reality.
Okay, give it to a girl. Let's see what you're going to generate.
Keep going, you'll get it just a little bit further. Oh, jeez. That's it.
Stretch your please.
No cup of tea for us tonight.
Sad old days. Sad days of the railways when I used to work on the trains. That's the men's barracks. And this is the station. I used to work a train down here of a night on Friday nights out of Sydney. We used to call it the Shagger Special. And it was a snow train that came down here to Cooma. And they used to leave Sydney on the Friday night, and they had sleepers and skis and booze everywhere, and that's all they did all night was party on. They'd get down here Saturday morning and we'd go to barracks and stay till the Sunday night. They'd get a coach and they'd go to the snow. Now in there is the old signal box. Look at it. Signal box Cooma. Station. No toilets there now, all locked up. She was a beautiful station. And now look at it. Quiet as a mouse. Days gone by. There's not a train comes in here at all now. They've just got smashed windows down the bottom there. And that's an old pay bus. So the trains don't rattle through Cooma anymore. Sad. Sad, sad, sad. Ooh, sexy buffet girl. This is the NRMA park that we're staying in at Jindabyne. That's a pizza oven. They fire that up on a Tuesday night. And tonight, apparently, by the sign. Barbecues, Camp Kitchen. Oh, that's nice. Hey. And straight across here to the water, as you can see behind me. So you can put your caravan down here and you're straight over looking Lake Jindabyne, that is. Lake Jindabyne. But we're up on the hill, protected because it's too windy here. Well, we've finally got to Thredbo. And that's the shopping centre and everything up there. Very quiet, a lot of people around, a lot of things closed. So I'm going to take Mum over. She's going to have a look at the ski bobbing, bobsleigh or whatever you call it. All right? And then we'll go and have a look at the memorial where the slide happened. It is very nice. Beautiful. We'll be going up there later. We've parked across there. Let's go and have a look at these bobsleighs. Pretty steep up there, eh? I'm wondering whether Mum would like to have a go at that. Not for me. Here comes Mum on the bobsled. You actually fly. Look at her. Gee, you're slowing up early. Push it right down.
I'm stopping.
Hey? You're stopping. Oh well, here goes nothing. Holy shit. It'll take a while. I'll take it again when I get up the top. Oh, she's just winding around. Now you fly. Wow! No brakes. Whoa! Okay, this is a little campground out of Thredbo. We've just stopped here for lunch. It's a free camp. Stay here as long as you like. There's toilets and there's water. We're having lunch. There's the beautiful lady. And have a look down here. Huh? How beautiful's that? Oh, look at this water, Elizabeth. Oh, you ought to see this water. Absolutely glorious. What a great spot for a camp. I think we'll bring the caravan down here and stay a week.
I don't think so.
No? Got fire and everything, look. You can't back the caravan up there, eh?
No, it's a
How great this is. What a lovely spot. I just had to tack this on the end of the other video. Isn't it bloody beautiful? Look at the colour of the water. Whoops. Isn't that gorgeous? What a great free camp this would be. How beautiful. So peaceful. So peaceful. We're at the top of the Great Dividing Range on the Snowy Mountains Highway. We're 1,390 feet above sea level. It's freezing. It's about 7, 8 degrees. And this little hut here is to protect those people trekking on the snowfields. So you come into there and warm yourself up. Got a bush toilet down there, little camping area, right up the top. Oh, I tell you, it's bloody cold, but it's so picturesque, isn't it? It's just beautiful. And that's what that little shack's for. No doubt Mum's gone in to get a photo. Well, there ain't much here, but we've just found this little town, probably 40k from Tumut, called Talbinga. We've stopped here for lunch. Had to bring the van down into low gear. By gee, the brakes were red hot when we got down here. It stunk. Just coming down the mountain from where the wild brumbies were up the top. And now we're just about to have some nice lunch. So have lunch here at Talbinga. The dam's behind us and there's a power station here. And then we're off down into Tumut to set up. And there you go. Hello duckies. Well, we've just arrived at our spot at Tumut, right on the Tumut River. And this comes from the Blowering Dam. As you can see, the river behind our van, and that's our setup. We always get good spots when we stay a week. There's Mum up there just finishing off the ladder work. Say hello, Mum.
I'm buggered.
And of course I'm working very hard too, just sitting here watching. No, I'm only joking. Taking them to Ronnie. Guess whose is growing and whose isn't. We won't go there. And now look at this. From our little setup there, we've got to put the signs on yet if we want to. Look how strong this flow of water is. How peaceful. Peaceful, peaceful, peaceful. And that's the view we've got from our veranda, our awning. And that all comes from Blowering Dam. Love it. How peaceful. How peaceful. Hello duckies. Well, we've just arrived at our spot at Tumut, right on the Tumut River. and this comes from the Blowering Dam. As you can see, the river behind our van, and that's our setup. We always get good spots when we stay a week. There's Mum up there just finishing off the ladder work. Say hello, Mum.
Oh, I'm buggered.
And of course I'm working very hard too, just sitting here watching. No, I'm only joking. Taking them to Ronnie. Guess whose is growing and whose isn't. We won't go there. And now look at this. From our little setup there, we've got to put the signs on yet if we want to. Look how strong this flow of water is. How peaceful. Peaceful, peaceful, peaceful. And that's the view we've got from our veranda, our awning. And that all comes from Blowering Dam. Love it. How peaceful. How peaceful. That's what we wake up to every morning in Tumut. Isn't it gorgeous? That's what we wake up to every morning in Tumut. Isn't it gorgeous? This is the last gold mine ruins of the gold mining ore and everything in its day. It ceased operation in 1971. It's not that long ago. And over here is the viewing platform, and in the background you can see a column, probably to do with the mining. But we're going to take more video when I get down there, so let's go have a look, eh? Days gone by, folk, when the trains actually ran to Tumut. It's now been closed, but the station is an historical site. Now down the end there where the toilets are is where they used to use the foot warmers to heat them up. They heated up foot warmers down there to put in the old mail trains down beside the toilet. The mail trains used to come out here to Tumut. I never worked to here, I worked to Cootamundra. But now they've closed all the railway lines and they're going to make it a push bike track. And you can ride from Tumut right through on a push bike. Tell you what, it's a big process in doing one broom, isn't it? This was established in 1946. It's a glorious day, and this will be interesting. We're at the Adelong, 20k out of Tumut, at the annual show. So we'll enjoy a day here today. What a clever young man. He's in the final events. He doesn't have to use hands. Like sands through the hourglass, so are the days of our lives. Just look at that strong current there, and how true. That's just like the days of our lives. Oh, sorry folks, this is the Captain Morgan's. What a beautiful shot. For in the massive big city of Talbingo, population 100, 300, and Jess is taking us up to see the wild brumbies. And that's the end of the shopping centre, isn't it, darling?
It is.
It's got the most important.
But it consists of one shop. It's got everything.
I don't know if you can see the wild brumbies, but they're there. They're there. They're bloody beautiful. Look at them. I hope you can see them. This video is just letting you know how far really into the bush we are, and being on a beautiful highway like this, I'll just come around to where Jess is driving. See that 4-lane highway? Absolutely beautiful. This is bush, isn't it?
That other road that I was on was worse than this one.
Sure, coming over.
Yeah.
You'd have to know where you're going here because you don't rely on GPS, do you?
No, you can't.
This is bush. It's bush. Alex would love this. Man, I'd love his 4-wheel driving out here. And here we go, another quick video. Yeah, on the top, yep. They don't carry on much, but do they? They mind their own business. There's one lying down there, and I don't think you'll see it on the video, but he's lying down just behind that one of the furthest to the front in the sun, enjoying it. I'd like to knock it off, eh? Is that what you want to do? You're right, you go. Oh, there his tongue come out. Oh, geez, it'd be good to get it off him, wouldn't it? greatness of the bush.
You know, from the saying, oh, they're causing so much damage. Then there's meant to go with blood.
Well, there you go. We're on a bit of a video there, and that's zoomed right in on the brumbies. Those trees behind the brumbies they amuse me. They look like they're all dead, but obviously they're not, Jess.
There is dead ones.
There is. Oh, look at them going down there. See the three of them together? Yeah, they're closer. I'll do those front ones. Now they're out of view. Beautiful black one, eh? Well, there's your wild brumbies, folk. And that's for you, Narelle.
She'll say we.
Yeah, I know, you can see them. It's just a bit wobbly because of me. Okay, we're with Jess chasing brumbies. And, yeah, it doesn't seem to want to focus properly because it's on Zoom. But this is really wild bush area. There you go.
Oh, yes, can just barely make out the legs.
There's none.
There is.
Another one.
Oh, there's plenty of them. Oh, look at this one galloping. See the one gallop?
Head off.
It's galloping in there. Stop hunting. Stop hunting. Perfect peace and quiet. Last day of Tumut. This is a glorious park. I mean, what you can see there is the view. And look how close to the water's edge I am. I will miss this place. It's so peaceful. But it's time tomorrow to move on. So today's a rest day. Pack up after lunch. I've got bread cooking. I've got a slow casserole for tea cooking. No booze today. Have a dry out day. And just relax around the place and then head off in the morning. Bye for Tumut. How bloody hilarious. We've just come into Gundagai to find the dog on the tucker box. And it's nowhere in Gundagai. It's 7 kilometres out on the Hume Highway. So we said, all right, you got to do the dog on the tucker box. So we came expecting a massive big dog on the tucker box statue. And look at it. Have a look at it. Oh, the size of the bloody thing. Well, we just stopped for lunch here in this beautiful little park. It's called Albert Park. It's at Cootamundra, as I said. And boy, oh boy, do they keep these grounds beautiful. This is the home of Don Bradman and cricket as was such. But I'm not a cricket fan, so much of that. This is the wonderful town of Temora. It's a lovely town. Guess where we are? You guessed it. The beautiful old railway station. Temora railway station. A thriving station in its day. I love looking at all these old stations. We've just arrived at Temora. So, without any more, we'll catch up with you later. That bicycle was ridden by call boys who used to work for the station master. And the call boy's job was to go down and call the drivers, conductors and guards and tell them, it's 5 o'clock, your train leaves at 6:15, and that was like a telegram or a reminder. Now refreshments. This spunky little lady used to sell refreshments. I might ask her. Excuse me, dear.
Pie and a chips
Pie and a chips and
at the railway shop.
Isn't she a beautiful station? Absolute glorious station. And that's Temora. At least there's still trains here, but they don't run very often. Well, here we are, set up at Temora Airfield. This is a beautiful spot. It's a council park. Well, not a lot of spots, but have a look at the sunrise. That's a glider out there. And look at the sunset, not sunrise. We got a plane coming. Dearie me. We've just lost it because the sun's gone, but it was beautiful. This is where we're staying at Temora. The airfield. He's touching down now. That's quite when they drop the power, isn't it? Ah, that's his brakes. Now he's off again. Oh, shit. He's off again into the sunset. Good on you, buddy. So what was that, sorry? One of three?
3 in the world that's going, yeah.
Here we are, we're at the Junior Licorice and Chocolate Factory that was opened here in what was it, mate?
98.
1998. And we're going in to see some goodies.
You're going to go eat some goodies.
We're going to eat some goodies, there you go. Well, this is the Licorice and Chocolate Factory at Junior. This lovely lady's going to give us a tour, take us and tell us a bit about what happens here.
And give us eaties.
And give us some goodies, yes. I did cheat, it's actually a video, but I'll cut that off in a minute. So there you go, folk. For you at home on... You ready, are you?
No,
Yep.
I'm looking, I'm waiting.
You right, Elizabeth?
Yep.
Oh, right.
I'll get it.
Didn't even get him.
It's a long way out, isn't it?
Stop the video. Glad there's
Yeah, there's mesh.
Oh,
Can you
yeah,
see?
well.
Can you see where it's hit all the time? It's even break the wood. That's how heavy that is.
Yeah,
Maybe.
it is heavy.
Yeah.
All right, here we go. Last one. Bad, eh? It's not. Okay, love. Did better than me.
It's a long way up.
The idea here is to get right up the top
It is. It's a long way up.
in that hole, and down comes the hard licorice that knocks the skittles.
That's it. Oh.
Oh, you did closer than me. You did closer than me.
There's a trick.
Isn't this a lovely place?
Oh.
Oh, a lot closer than me.
Don't that slope, do you?
You can get.
We are making the big freckle. She was, yeah. Wow, look at the chocolate over there. Oh, they're making Easter eggs. They're making Easter eggs. What's this girl doing?
Chopping up honeycomb.
Look at this beautiful smile on her face.
Face of concentration.
She is. She's chopping up honeycomb.
Look at this little girl getting her rubber gloves on.
Oh, show me.
She's going to make
Oh,
Rocky Road.
what? What a cutie. Oh, look at her face. Oh, two of them. Okay, here we go. This is in the roundhouse at Junee. I'm just showing you for you, Anthony, because you love trains with Grandad. And this how's this for a layout, pal? How long do you reckon that'd be? I don't know.
That's straight off the main road.
Do we come up there? Massive, isn't it? About 3 times that of Grandad's. Blinking red light over here like we got, mate. See that? And this one will come back through here. So we'll get him again. That's the headlights on them. I wonder what brand they are, Oz Trains, or maybe they're Ozcision. See them coming through there now?
I'll keep an eye for it and just get to a trailer, I'll take it up to the front there.
Look at that.
Nice camping areas.
Wonderful. Love it. Love it, love it, love it.
Those ones are...
Okay, this is inside the Junee Roundhouse, where some locomotives are stored. Does this belong to you people, mate, the 4401?
Yeah, we're the lessees on it.
Yes. Isn't she gorgeous?
Run it?
It goes, but it doesn't, we don't take it out of here.
Oh, okay.
It hasn't been started since 2015.
Oh, that's not
we
that long
attempted
ago.
to start it,
Isn't
the
she
battery's not
beautiful?
any good.
And Thirlmere, doesn't Thirlmere have one?
They got 2.
They got 2. Look at this old dude. Oh, memories. Here's your latest. Here's 4426 here. Look, I can just keep walking here, but you know, the man wants to tell us a bit about it, so I'm going to go, but unbelievable place. Now, this roundhouse here used to store all the engines. Big maintenance depot, as you can see. And contrary to what's written in the information booklet, this turntable is not the biggest in New South Wales. It's 100 foot, so the gentleman who doing this tour with us is telling me. But this one, 100 foot, but the one at Thirlmere is 105. Broadmeadow. So there you go. So you would have had heaps and heaps of steam engines in here in their day. Just a quick video because I'm running out of battery. So here we go. Monte Cristo House. 1834. Wow, what an old beauty. Beautiful old home, isn't it? Where all the ghosts are, eh? Remember the old saying, folk? Ghosts don't hurt you, it's the living that hurts you, not the dead. Oh, wow. Another angle of Monte Cristo House might be clearer to see. The claim is Australia's most haunted house, so they say. Ooh. Piss off, ghost. God, she's an old house. Beautiful. Hello, miss. Ooh, you look a little bit pale there, dear. Coming through. Coming through. The clock's on here. I can hear creaks. I can hear creaks. Somebody's around. Look at the work in these places. Oh, it is a beautiful old home, isn't it? And now we're going up the stairway. Upstairs. This area out the back displays the carriage shops, carriage works, maids' quarters, and here is the ballroom. So they say. And this, of course, is the back of the house we just climbed up and around and through Monte Cristo. And this is my last video of the Outback Ballroom. I'd say this area here is used for weddings, I would say. Wouldn't you, dear?
Yep.
So there you go.
Lovely.
And I never saw any ghosts. Ah! Shit! Shit! Ah! Wow. The power of the sun. Unbelievable. Well, that's not going to be in the sky much longer, is it? And look at that awesome light penetrating down on the glider. How powerful is that? Okay, we're at the Rural Museum in Temora. This is not Monte Cristo House. That, my dear girls, is an ensuite. The Poey, which is the bottom one, is the piddle jug. The top one is to wash your hands. Baby's asleep. And here are the beds. Now, according to Mum, that's on the top of the bed to stop the bugs falling out of the thatched roof. And that, you put coals in and put that in the bed to warm it up. Dressing table. Good morning, dear. How are you? I love your sleep well.
Commode.
Oh, she's sitting on a toot. Sitting on a toot. Oh, having a morning blue. Bye.
Oh, badly I am.
Oh, look at that. There's the grandfather clock.
Oh, he'd be in trouble. for
That's
that
the old
uniform.
amplifier. Fireplace. A safari suit. Good morning, young couple. Now, what's happened, Elizabeth? What's not ironed? Oh.
When they went in there,
Yeah.
where they've done it from,
Why?
because course, the jacket's supposed to be inside out when it's pressed.
Oh, there you go.
That was in the Navy.
In the Navy, we sailed the 7 seas. Okay, we're in Sir Donald Bradman's very first home. What was that about, Elizabeth? About why they had the roof?
No, this is just the Hessian covered the roof.
Hello, Don's mum, or wherever you are. Eggs for breakfast. And if you come this way, I'll show you. Look at the floor. His bedroom.
Only 2 rooms in this house.
Only 2 rooms, where you sleep and where you eat.
Don't know where you socialise.
Dearly beloved, we are gathered here today to witness the marriage of Albert Herbert Monstron to Susan Gabrielle von Schisch. We wish them a happy and eternal life. Do 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 do. This is the Rural Museum still at Temora. Hello, little fella. Hello, little buddy. Hard days then, eh? I love all this old stuff and this old history. School's in. When I was a little fella at school, I hated the girl who was in front of me. She was always dobbing on me and telling stories. So I used to dip her plats in the ink. See the ink well there in the centre of the table? There's always ink around the top of that, and I used to dip her plats in it because I hated her. The old coal fire to keep the kids warm, and the teacher. Morning, Miss Jones. These wonderful old engines of their day. A Ruston Proctor model FLX. 6 horsepower, which was a lot to that. And they go on and on and on. Beautiful old engines that worked in its day. Look at these glorious things. Pumps made in Australia in 1941, the red one. High tension magneto, 2 horsepower. This one here, 2 horsepower. 1.5, yet it's a bigger motor. They go on and on and on and on. Beautiful. This one, guys, is the Ambulance Museum. Wow. Have a look at these old vehicles. The story of the ambulance. Never thought you ever saw a ambulance like that, did you? Hey? The old Falcon? Fords? Hey? The old ambulance uniform? Not like the paramedics of today. Hey? Civil Ambulance Parade. Look at these old dudes. These are the ones that I remember. The old International. Days gone by. I bet you Eileen remembers these. That one I sure do. That was the F.J. Holden ambulance. And look at this bloke. That's from Kyogle. What an old beauty. Days gone by. Okay, we've just come across, it's only a walk from where our van is, to the Aviation Temora Museum. So let's go in and see what we can find in here. Mum wants me to show you the plane flying in there. Spitfires in here, so they say. Big things out the back. Look at all those sheds. Let's go. Okay, here we go, boys. We're inside the Aviation Museum, and this is being restored. It's a Canberra bomber that was used in what war? Two. Behind the Canberra bomber is the Steedman, which is quite like the Tiger Moth. I don't think you can see the Tiger Moth, but there's part of it over there in the left-hand top corner. And that's a Wirraway, which they used to progress. The gentleman behind me told me, from flying this fellow to that one. But you'll notice there's no red centre dot on the white part there. There is on that one. Reason being, one of our allies often thought maybe a red dot was Japan. Might have shot the wrong one. And that'll be restored hopefully by the end of this year, well and truly, and they'll be able to fly it again. Wonderful thing. Up the front there was a navigator, a bomber and a pilot. And the bomber could lay on the ground on his belly and look straight out the bottom. Wonderful machine. This will be a quick video, but I'll do the best I can, okay? That's from the pilot's view of inside the Spitfire. We'll come to another Spitfire in a minute. This one here is the Meteor. These all fly today. They're still in flying mode, believe it or not. And they are flown by special pilots with special licenses. Tojo Busters. Incredible. Now this here, the Vampire, whew, she's a powerful plane. And that biggest motor you saw on the pictures is from this Vampire. All the front of that plane is motor. And would you believe the body is actually timber, plywood. I just showed you inside the Spitfire, and this here is another Spitfire, Mark 8. Incredible machine. Did you know the Spitfires and Sabre Jets, the Sabre Jet being my favourite, were all made or assembled in Australia? That thing is a rocket too. Do you notice the propeller on the back of it? It's a stumpy machine, isn't it? Look at the guns on that. This here is owned by David Lowy, and that happens to be the Dragonfly, another powerful jet. And over there's where they all learned, the old Tiger Moth. Up here we have my baby, North American Sabre Jet, assembled in Australia. In their day, they were absolutely rockets. That's their missiles. And I'm getting a bit long in the tooth now, so I'm going to cut it pretty short. So these are some of the motors that are out of these massive machines. That tiny little thing there is the one from the Dragonfly, and this massive beast, considering the size of that to this is the one that's out of the Vampire. And that's the end of the tour of the museum. I hope you enjoyed that video. This will be a quick video, but I'll do the best I can, okay? That's from the pilot's view of inside the Spitfire. We'll come to another Spitfire in a minute. This one here is the Meteor. These all fly today. They're still in flying mode, believe it or not. And they are flown by special pilots with special licenses. Tojo Busters. Incredible. Now this here, the Vampire, whew, she's a powerful plane. And that biggest motor you saw on the pictures is from this Vampire. All the front of that plane is motor. And would you believe the body is actually timber, plywood. I just showed you inside the Spitfire, and this here is another Spitfire, Mark 8. Incredible machine. Did you know the Spitfires and Sabre Jets, the Sabre Jet being my favourite, were all made or assembled in Australia? That thing is a rocket too. Do you notice the propeller on the back of it? It's a stumpy machine, isn't it? Look at the guns on that. This here is owned by David Lowie, and that happens to be the Dragonfly, another powerful jet. And over there's where they all learned, the old Tiger Moth. Up here we have my baby, North American Sabre Jet, assembled in Australia. In their day, they were absolutely rockets. That's their missiles. And I'm getting a bit long in the tooth now, so I'm going to cut it pretty short. So these are some of the motors that are out of these massive machines. That tiny little thing there is the one from the Dragonfly, and this massive beast, considering the size of that to this is the one that's out of the Vampire. And that's the end of the tour of the museum. I hope you enjoyed that video.
Just the distinctive top hat and cane on the tail with the checkers, which survives today as a symbol on the commanding officer's aircraft on the FA-18. So Wing Commander Para was the commanding officer of 75 Squadron, flying Mirages in Butterworth. And this aircraft had been in and around the 75 Squadron hangar for a number of years. And he made the decision that we would procure the aircraft with some negotiations with the local authorities. And we had a lot of engineers that had worked previously on the aircraft, and he was able to just put it back into flying condition. And he flew it a couple of times around Butterworth, and then informed the hierarchy in Australia that Australia had again a flying Sabre.
Beautiful Sabre.
In the mid-2000s, Temora Aviation Museum and the Royal Australian Air Force went into a collaborative partnership, which effectively allowed the Air Force to provide on long-term lease to Temora the aircraft.
Out go the gliders. And you need something to tow it with. She's an oldie, but she works. And we'll see what happens when he gets out there to pull these buggers, eh? That's the Spitfire that's just come in. How cool was that? And I missed the bloody thing. I didn't think I'd ever see these warplanes out. That's a Wirrawah. Oh, bloody hell, I'm excited. How good was that? We're in a quaint little town. It's called Coolamon. And very, very old town. Oh, there's a resident now. Hello there, dear. How long have you lived in Coolamon, lady?
5 minutes.
5 minutes? How did you find that the weather here? Good?
Actually, it's quite nice, yes.
And what would the temperature be today in Coolamon?
They say it's going to be 31.
31 degrees. And it's a quaint little town, isn't it?
It surely is.
Wow.
Lots of very old shops.
We'll go and explore, shall we?
We shall.
There you go. Look at this little place in here. Established 2004. Well, maybe so, but the bloody building wasn't, was it? Have a look at the building. Certainly it's a peaceful town. This store was established in 1909 and it's called the Up To Date store. So we'll go in and see what's in the Up To Date store at Coolamon. Here we go, watch this machine. This is in the Up To Date store. Have a look at this, all gravity fed. Wow. What was that called again, please?
The Lamson Cash Railway.
There you go, Lamson Cash Railway. So what was the purpose of it? How did it...
So, basically, it's a cash register. So you would have been sitting over here and you would have been served by a grocery boy, and he would have, when you were ready to pay, would have put a little docket into this ball along with your cash, but probably an account back in those days. He would have sent it over to the office where they had one banker, one person doing money. They would have processed your order, put the change back in the ball or your receipt, and then sent it back. And our machine's really, really genius, and I think the most clever thing about it is, depending on what you bought, would have depended on the size and weight of the ball, because there's 3 tracks going to the office, but only 1 track going back.
Oh, that's interesting.
Yeah, so depending on what you bought, the ball would have dropped down at its allocated counter, basically. So if you bought some farm machinery over here, the ball, the weight and the size of the ball would have meant that it would have dropped back at this register here. And if you bought groceries, then a different ball would have been used and it could only drop down at this one. If you bought some ladies' wear, it would have continued to go through the shelving and over into the other room.
Wow.
So the machine itself actually measures the size of the ball, and then it drops down a little bridge, and the ball would have dropped down at its corresponding counter.
And did you say this is the only one working in the world?
Working and in situ, in definitely the southern hemisphere, but as far as we think now, more likely the world.
Wow. This is another part of the Up To Date store. It's the Garth Jones collection in Coolamon, New South Wales. About 40k from Wagga Wagga and 60 from Temora. Of the rural farming days, these carts are absolutely high as, and they were used for carrying wheat, grain, things like that. Coolamon is such a quaint little place, isn't it? And this has to be the best fire museum I have ever been in. It's owned by donation. And you know what? The guy that's in here has spent 22 years with the fire brigade. It's all his own private collection. Everything. And the government won't help him in any way. Nobody will. Unbelievable, isn't it? Maybe he's the wrong colour. Going up to the spirit in the sky. I got a friend in Jesus. Da 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 with a place like this. Sunset. Going up to the spirit in the sky. Don't know why I fly, but if you're at Temora and you're at the airport, that's what you seem to do. I love that rum. Captain Morgan's Black Label. Ooh, yeah, spicy rum. Bye.
And then into Sydney.
Ah. Is it always the same guy? That's our freight delivery. That's our freight delivery. Our coal. I don't think he goes right down to the end. I think he just takes off from there. The daily service. A daily service. Jeff was just telling me there a minute ago he goes from here to Wagga. Here he goes. He'll just take straight off from there. Powerful bugger. Look at him go. Up he'll go. Just out here somewhere in the bloody mulga between, oh, I don't even know the name of the town. We've come off the main Hume highway and the GPS has taken us somewhere over a friggin' mountain. I don't know where we are, in the middle of the bloody mulga somewhere with no signal, no nothing, so good luck to trying to get to Bungendore. Time for something to eat. Well, we're here at Bungendore. That's the amenities there. This is the showground. You can park in the middle there and camp, but they're all unpowered. Powered's up the top end and where we are. So there's the amenities. There's the stage. And we're tucked in here. Great little spot. I don't know how the hell we got here after that video prior to this, stuck up in the bloody mountain somewhere. I don't know where the friggin' hell we were. But now we're here and we're safe. Well, we finally arrived at Burrell Lake, which is just out of Ulladulla, probably 6 kilometres or so. A gorgeous area here. David used to live just up the road, Ronnie, and remember this very well. And I got this lovely lady here now making us some lunch. The kids are playing in the park, they're happy. The barbecues are over there. So this will probably be it, folk. You won't hear from us again till we get home. It will be in Ulladulla for 4 days and heading home. Bye for this journey. Well, folk, here we are all set up at Ulladulla. That's our van. And we have an ensuite on the side of us. Toilet and shower straight under our awning. This is real comfort when it comes to that, doesn't it?
Yes.
So we're at Ulladulla. We've set up, we're having a nice cold drink, and we're looking over here. Look through there. Pack Park too, just quietly. Look. That looks bloody vicious to me. Bye.